Three friends, I would say three musketeers. Three friends joined the program in batch 5. Two of them has cleared and today the third one has done it. This gives me so happiness when not just one, two, but all of them join and get it done in the minimum possible time. So I'm really happy that you did it, Manam. I need your feedback. I need your, first of all, how did you manage the exam day, last 24 hours, and then exam? Please go ahead.
hmm Yeah, so as Amir shared, we joined his program. We were three of us, and two of us already cleared, and I was the last one. I was a bit slow, but I was busy with some stuff. But yeah, I finally managed to pass the exam. The last day exam preparation mostly was talking to Amir about what to do, what to focus on. So he told me like gave me some tips. I got the chocolate that I kept with me, and when I took breaks, I ate and it gave me a sugar rush and I was active for another hour or so. So yeah, and I tried to calm myself down, like focus on the question, reread it. Because of that, like rereading it twice, thrice, I changed my answers. Like I first selected something, then after rereading it, I changed it again. So yeah, this was also Amir's suggestion, and it was very helpful.
Hmm. How did you manage time?
Time, so as you said, your formula. So the first section should be over when you have about 150 minutes left, and the second section should be over by 75 minutes. So in my case, the first section was not that difficult. So for example, like you say that, the first section is all about Muhammad Ali punches. It wasn't like that for me, because I think it was probably more like some questions were hard, and then there were some easy questions. And this was the pattern that I repeated in all the three sections, not just one. So even in the last section, I kept getting harder questions, but there were also easier ones. So with the first section, I was done with when I had, I think, 165 minutes left. So like maybe 15 minutes more than I should have, like 15 minutes more than 150. The second section took a bit longer. And when I ended it, I had like 71, 72 minutes. And but in the third section again, I was done with it when I had 10 minutes left. So I reviewed basic things like a few questions, but then I submitted it and I just thought, let's get done with it.
Okay, okay. How many drag and drop questions were there?
No, none, zero.
Zero drag and drop question. How many formula questions were there?
Formula question was one where you had to actually compute the formula. Three questions were about CPI and SPI. But yeah, apart from these four questions, there was no other formula question.
There were no other formula question. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay. Which topic was most dominant in your exam?
As expected, it was mostly agile, mostly about organizations trying to move to agile, or stakeholders trying to adopt agile mindset, coaching team members, handling conflict in agile teams, and so on. So yeah, it was mostly agile. There were some about predictive as well. Risk was very important. So there were some questions about risk management, and yeah, about servant leadership. And agile was, I would say, maybe 60-70% of the whole exam. And I was sort of good at it because I'm also in IT, so I already kind of knew these things, so it was easier for me to prepare them. And I handled those questions confidently. It was nice.
Okay. Taking that into consideration, what else was important for your preparation? Now, your preparation took some time, like I would say 3 months,
Yes, yes,
right?
it was. Yes.
Yeah.
It,
So,
Mhm.
what could have been improved in your preparation and throughout the journey?
So I would say, from your side, everything was like you were following up with me every day. It was, I think, mostly on my side. So I live with my wife here, and like when you live abroad, you have to do everything yourself. And I also have a daughter, so that's why I don't get much time because I also have a full-time job. But yeah, I try to do whatever I could. But again, I could have probably done more. Probably could have done some things to make it faster. But in any case, the preparation was, I would say your course was super important. I think this was the main part. Like once you understand the course, and then I think the mocks were super important. Your emphasis on mocks, like you kept nagging us that, get this mock done, do RCA. all of this was super helpful because questions were like they were similar. So yeah, mocks were there are so many mocks that you have, and if you do all of them, I'm pretty sure like anybody who goes like who does them can easily clear PMP. So they were super helpful, and the RCA part of it, so that kind of stays in your mind, and then when you see the similar scenario in the paper, you are like, okay, I
Mm.
have done this, I know the answer, and then you can just click through the options and uh, do it quickly.
Okay. 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 This is the important thing to look into that, how you work into that. How important RCA was for you?
RCA was very important because I think if you just rely on the course alone, because there's some things, some corner cases which are not covered in the course, which you only learn when you do the mocks. And that's why I understand why you focus so much on giving the mocks, doing RCA. So yeah, I have understood a lot of concepts. I mean, not all of because the course was also there, but yeah, like the fine line which you need to pass the exam confidently, that comes when once you have done the mocks and once you have done RCA for them, because there are so many different cases, and there are always two answers which are very close. And if you know, like if you've done the RCA, if you understand the mindset, the psychology why this answer is correct, then you can apply it again when you see a similar question.
Mm. Okay. So that's an important thing that is always there, that we need to look into that, how things work. So which mocks were more important for you? The final mocks that you did or before that?
I would say all of them, but the final ones were very important. They were also important psychologically because I was doing them in the last 2 days before the exam. So seeing my score in them was a confidence booster, and I could assess that okay, if I'm passing these exams, then I think I should be fine in the PMP exam as well. So, but if you talk about which mocks were more similar to the exam, I would say the final mocks that you shared, and also probably the random mocks. They were quite similar to what we see in the exam.
Mm, mm. Okay. How important is for students to do 180 question to build stamina?
Very important because I was tired. I was feeling hungry, and that's why when I took the break, I was biting on my chocolate. So yeah, it is very important that you have experience with the giving with sitting for I don't know an hour or more, and then taking 10 minutes break and doing that 3 times. It's very important. If you don't, I felt I could do it because I had already done the mocks
Mm.
in a similar way. So that was helpful. If I hadn't done that, then it would have been more difficult for me to stay focused because when you are reaching the end of the questions, you start to lose focus, you start to get distracted, you start to get lazy, sleepy. But yeah, if you know that yes, you will pass through it and you have experience doing it, then you can do it.
Okay. Any any recommendation that you would like to share with the people who are going to exam very soon? So what would be your recommendation?
My recommendation would be to just go through your videos, go through the last minute videos that you share, do the mocks, do the RCA. I think if you do all of these things, then you should be fine. Yeah, and just focus on risk, like understand what PMI means when they talk about risk and what they're thinking. So, and agile, very important, and stakeholder as well. So I think if you cover these 3 4 areas, I think you are pretty good. And yes, do the mocks and do the RCA, very important.
Thank you, Minam. Thank you very much. It was an honor to work with all three of you and looking
Yeah.
forward to coach you further. Do send me a good picture of you. I'll make a thumbnail of it and make at least 10 to 15 questions I'm going to use in PMP Marathon.